Yo, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of First Class Morning Show. It is February 9th, and we are back. I'm here with Bless today. What's up with you?
What's going on? Good morning.
Unfortunately, we do not have Tika with us. She had some previous engagements she had to handle. So, she's still with us in spirit. Hopefully she's watching if she can. She might drop in a couple of comments if she can. But yeah, we're just gonna keep it rocking, keep everything going. How you feeling?
So far, so good. Loving that the sun about to come out today a little bit.
Right, get some of this snow up. But yeah, man, I'm ready for it, man. It's been a up and down kind of weeks. It's Super Bowl week. It's Valentine's Day is around the corner. It's Black History Month. A lot of stuff is going on. So you got, like, before we get all the way started, do you got any plans for the Super Bowl? Do you know who you're rooting for? Anything like that?
Nah, my squad ain't playing. I'm a Steelers fan, saying my squad ain't playing. So, I'm going to let them do their things. I don't normally root for the Bengals, but, since they finally made it, I'm going to go ahead and applaud them probably.
Nah.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm glad they finally made it. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for them as like an organization, and they finally, getting over that hump and stuff like that.
yeah.
But as a Ravens fan in the same division, I can't do it. Like, I tried, like, I thought about it. I'm like, me and my brother, we do a sports show, the C podcast, SEE podcast, sports and entertainment and extra shit. And he asked, like, who you going for? So we do picks and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I want to root for the Bengals just because they home team. But then at the same time, I was just like, nah, I just can't do it. So I'm going for the Rams. I can't, like, as a Ravens fan, I can't do it. Like, I can't. Now, if they win, would I be like totally mad or something like that? No. But at the same time,
so you ain't gonna
want it. I mean, I might, like, because sometimes I'm a hater, so it all depends. We'll see. But okay. I'm going for the Rams.
Honesty.
But you got anything, any new news, any new baby news? Because we got a new addition on the way.
Well, I don't know if I told y'all, but it's a boy. Kylan Shondell Barnes is gonna be his name, and he'll be here around the 12th of April. That's right.
Wow. Okay. Cool. That's what's up. Once again, congratulations with that. That's a good name.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have him on the application looking like, who's this guy? Let's check him out.
Yeah. See, like, that's why I like Eric. Eric is always a great name, man, just because don't nobody know what I look like. You know what I'm saying? It's a Caucasian name. So we got we got a couple of comments, man. They said the Rams all the way. Matt Stafford, the Bulldog legend. That's my man, Alonzo. Thank you for commenting. Make sure you if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, Zoe, go ahead and do that, because your name is not popping up. If I ain't had my phone in front of me, I wouldn't have known it was you. But he also said congrats to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Or you can just say, or you could just tag your name after you get done with your comment as well if you're gonna keep commenting. But so yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get everything kicked off. If you're new to the show, y'all know I like to do some type of quotes or words of encouragement, you know, especially if you hit to our main show that we do. But on this show, I like to switch it up a little bit different, man. I call it the social media quote of the day, quote of the week, whatever you want to call it. And it's basically just me seeing different posts or different quotes online that I actually like. Now, the main show, I actually try to take my time and find something actually inspirational and all of that stuff. But as far as this one, if something catches my eye and it sounds pretty nice, it could be funny, it could not be funny, it could be dead serious. It all depends. But we got the social media quote of the day, and with this one, it is from a friend of mine. She posted, the past I can forgive. It's the pattern I can't rock with."
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit for a second. So
Okay.
now I'm gonna say it again. It says, "The past I can forgive. It's the pattern I can't rock with." So, like I said, with that, like the way that kind of popped out to me, I'm just like, yeah, that's definitely dope, man. And just speaking of the new year, people got a lot of stuff going on. Um, a lot of stuff happens in the beginning of the year. You know, maybe people might lose friendships, long term friendships or whatever, but it's different. Like a lot of people think that you can't forgive. Like, oh well, you not letting it go, so they ain't never. You said you forgive me, but you still acting and reacting like this. It's like sometimes you can forgive the past, but if it ends up being a pattern, then you know, and you see it, then yeah, it's time to step away from that situation. So, um, you know, always keep your eyes open to other people's patterns, and then also keep an eye on your own stuff because sometimes the problem can actually be you. So, you know, don't ever take yourself out the situation or
No
the
doubt.
conversation or whatever. So, all right, man, we're gonna get this ball rolling. First things first, we're gonna talk about what makes a good support system. So, like I said, man, I see a lot of folks online, through social media, through personal relationships, trying to make a lot of big moves in the beginning of this year. It's people dropping albums, local artists that are dropping albums, people that are friends of mine, people that I went to school with, some people I might not know personally, but I see a lot of big things, a lot of new businesses opening up and things like that. And a lot of these folks are just like, oh, okay, well, the support is not what I thought it was gonna be. Like starting off,
Mm.
especially if it's new and it's a new venture for you. It's like, man, the support is not what I thought it was gonna be. Um, and it's a difficult situation, you know. Like I've been in the podcast industry for this is my fourth year. So this makes year four, you know, starting off year four now. And just a lot of the couple different ventures that I do, I'm still kind of new into the game. You know what I mean? But that whole thing
Mhm.
about support is I have a new understanding of it now. So before I go on my touch, uh, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think makes a good support system? It doesn't always have to be as far as like business, but just a good support system overall.
Well, I can say here in the last 10 years, I've learned support, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely not financial all the time. Sometimes you might just need somebody to talk to. You might just need to pick their brain for some knowledge, things of that nature. If you can help me out, don't be withholding information. A lot of people don't want you to be on their level or they don't want you to be happy, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So, me having my own house and not having a dude in my life at the time, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot I had to figure out on my own. So, I had to ask people. And if they didn't want to tell me things, I wouldn't have made it this far. You know what I'm saying? Google helps if you read good and you know what I'm saying, and you know how to dialect and get all the Google terms in your head, you know what I'm saying, you'd be all right. But I need it for dummy style. So I'd rather ask somebody, let them tell me, show me how, help me out. That's support. As far as just the mental, you might just need somebody to talk to, whether they respond or not. You might just need that ear. That's definitely support. It's not always about, can you help me out with a little, a little something, something. It's not always that. Always that.
True. I definitely agree with you. A lot of folks think it's money, think that you need something. Some cases it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, hey, look, I might need $20 so I can get to my next paycheck, so I
Mhm.
can get some gas or I'm gonna pay you back. But that also goes back into the social media quote of the day or the quote of the week or whatever, is that if it becomes a pattern, then I can understand how people will fall back because I've been in those situations too to where, somebody had hit me up like, hey man, can I hold this real quick? I got blah 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 going on. Like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Like, all right, I'm gonna get you back. And then time goes on, and then it's like, hey, I need a favor real quick, bro. I'm gonna get you back. And then time goes on. So eventually, it's like, man, no, I can't help you out, cuz you know what I'm saying.
You abuse
Or
them.
yeah, it's a pattern. Like at this point, you think I'm always gonna be here to bail you out the situation. Um, Personally, what I think as far as a good support, like you said, is deeper than money. Sometimes like you said, it is just time. But as far as at the business aspect, I think it's more time than anything. You know what I mean? You need somebody to bounce ideas off of. You need somebody that maybe maybe you're doing something technical, dealing with computers or Bitcoin or whatever, and you might know somebody that's better in that field. So that
Hmm.
their version of support, it might be helping you with your electronics or your technical support, or bouncing ideas off of, or like, hey man, like I've been thinking about this, what you think? Like, well, I would switch and actually having a conversation instead of just being a yes man or a yes woman. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I always hate. Like, don't get me wrong, like me being being who I am, of course I think all my ideas are right. But I know every idea I come up with is not right. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not good. So I like to have somebody like, man, that's cool, but did you think about it this way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning, because it's like now I'm trying to bounce off these different ideas so I can home in on what I'm trying to do, or where I'm trying to go with it. Um and that what makes to me that's what makes a good support system. Everybody has a different role. Everybody is not doing the same job in that system or that wheel or whatever, however you want to diagram it. You know what I mean? It's different. Like you got somebody that's there for emotional support. Maybe you do have somebody there that's there for financial support if you need it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but like I feel like the way I always took it is, and the way I take it now is that especially anytime with like business or anything, um, even if it's not business, it's just as far as the support issue. They always say it takes a village to raise a child, correct?
Hmm. They do.
And I think the same system goes for support. It takes a village. It takes multiple people doing multiple things as a support system. A lot of people just like even doing the podcast. Like honestly, people at this point like, hey man, you do a podcast, man. That's what's up. Like I seen your show. Like I support you. Like man, I support what you're doing. And I'm like, do you? You know what I mean? Like, do you really? Like, oh, okay. I haven't seen you drop a comment. I haven't seen you share a post. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying that you seen it, like that's like real quick, like, oh, okay. Or I heard somebody
Mhm.
told me that this is what you do. Now that's cool,
Right.
but if it's something like if you're not dealing with me personally, but you're like, you know what, I still want to show support, then that's what that like button is for. That's what that share button is for. That's what word of mouth is for. Um, because it's a lot of people that I'm cool with that I don't see personally every day or every week or once a month or anything like that, but they see what I'm doing and see what I'm trying to do, and they still support. And by them showing support is they trying to help get the word out to today people. Word of mouth is the fastest form. The fastest form. Oh man, that whole phrase just dropped out of my head. It's the fastest form of. Dang man, that whole thing just dropped out of my head.
My thing is, I agree though, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is just with the support, if you know something, don't let me fail. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to see you make it. And it, like you said, it takes a village because one person might agree with your idea, another person might see the flaws in your idea but not say nothing. But that third person might see the flaws in your idea and support you and be like, nah, you don't want to do it like this and get their opinion, like you said, you know. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, yeah. And that's just the way, like me and the foundation that I have around me. That's the way we rock. But that also goes back to into the way that I grew up too. Like I didn't grow up with yes men or yes women. Like my mom wasn't like that. My dad wasn't like that. Like my cousins wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? If it's a good idea or you just don't have a better idea, then yeah, sometimes we just gonna rock with it. Like, all right, I don't know. I don't totally agree with you, but let's just see what happened. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a rock with you regardless. If it failed, I'm with you. If it succeed, I'm with you. And
Mhm.
that and a lot of people don't understand that's a good staple in your support system as well, because that's just somebody saying like, look, man, I don't know where it's gonna end up. I mess with you. You know what I'm saying? If this seems like a good idea to you, then it's a good idea to me. So I'm gonna rock with you, and we're gonna go through it together. So I don't know. It's definitely different forms, man. But as far as
Yeah, I
anybody
feel you.
that's doing something new, or maybe going through a new chapter in your life, and you looking for where this support system is coming from or lack thereof, that's when you find out who your true family and friends is. You know what I mean? And it sometimes it sucks. Sometimes people just don't know, or they don't, or don't know how. Like, hey, like I see you over there. I see what you're doing or what you're trying to do or what you're going through, but
Mhm.
I don't know how to respond. I don't know where I could help you out at. So that's always a
That's
thing
fine
too.
too.
So yeah,
Mhm.
like don't basically just don't take everything so negative, because I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, with starting some of these different ventures I got, you know, I did have a little bit of negativity creeping in. Like, dang, bro, like I'm trying to I'm trying to build up. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to tear it down, but it's like where all this extra support that I assumed that I was gonna have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, oh well. And then as you go on, it's like, okay, well, such and such say they care, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? Such and such are like, oh, okay, well, I do support you. I like and share, but I just don't have the time to do A, B, and C. But I can do D and E for you. You know what I'm saying? I can do the other side. I can try to help get the word out. I can share, like even
Yeah.
as far as, just for example, like as far as starting off doing the podcast, a lot of people 4 years. So when I first started, a lot of people, especially in Dayton in the city, wasn't really,
Mhm.
at least my circle, you know, the type of people that I kick it with, we all
Mhm.
wasn't really hip to podcasts for real. It's a lot of people that's still really not into podcasting, whether listen
Mhm.
to it or trying to do it or whatever. So it's a trend that's been getting bigger and bigger each year. I want to say it really started getting big around 2018. You know what I mean? I started in 2019. So around that
Mhm.
time it started trending up, and a lot of people wasn't hip to it. So it's like, so what are you doing? Are you doing a radio show? What are you talking about? Like what's going on? And you can see the difference, like just in the numbers. Like my first 5 shows was hitting like 50 listeners. I think one of them got like almost 60 listens. And then after it became a normal, usual thing, like, oh, he's doing this every week. Then it dropped down to 20, and then it dropped down to 15. Then I had to figure out how to market better. You know what I'm saying? So initially,
Okay.
when it's new, the support was high. Like, oh man, what is it? This is new. Like, what is he doing? Like, okay, he got a radio
Absolutely.
show. And then once you
Mm-hmm.
understand it, it's like, okay, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I had a lot of different friends and some family just tell me like I'm not really into that. Like I don't really have the time to listen to your whole show. Like, but I want to support you. Like I like what you're doing. I'm glad you're doing something.
Yeah,
It's real
that's great.
positive what you're doing at that. But I just don't know how. And I'm like, listen, it's audio. At that time, it was just audio. So I'm like, if you really not into it, I'm like, when you cleaning the house, just hit play. I'm like, just hit play, continue doing whatever you gonna do. When it's done, like let it roll for a little bit, like so I can get credit for the play, for the listen. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Now, if you find yourself actually paying attention to it, then all right, cool. That's definitely solid. But if you don't know how to support, even if anybody watching and listening right now, if you don't know how to support and you're like, hey man, I like what they doing, I like the show, I want to see him get bigger and better because we can't all start off being the Joe Buttons and the Joe Rogans and all of them. Like they already famous. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
already they made their bread to where they could have just woke up and said, you know what? I want to do a podcast. And then in 24 hours, they got a whole setup. You know what I'm saying? We crawling out from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get support and try to help big up the brand and big up the thing, just hit play.
Yeah.
You can hit play when you in your car. You can hit play while you washing your clothes. You can hit play while you using the bathroom. You can hit play like while you in the shower.
Yeah.
Like you can, like I tell people, hit play, walk away, go cut your grass. You know what I'm saying? Especially back when we first started. Like, but in this case, hit play, go shovel your snow, and then by the time you come back, episode be over. I get credit for a play. I appreciate the support, and then while you over there, like and share it as well. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. As far as support goes, it's it seems so simple, but it's also tricky as well. So anybody and everybody that's like looking or trying to have a support system to lean on, just even if it's not coming from the people that you think it's going to come from, it might come from somebody else. Like we said on last week's show, yo, your family and friends might not support you. Your biggest supporter might be a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
So so like basically just don't close it off. You know what I mean? So just because your 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 auntie that helped raise you is not really supporting either what you do or the chapter you in your life or whatever the case may be, your neighbor 3 doors down, they might be a good support system. So don't ever really completely shut yourself off just because the people you expect it to come from is not doing it. So you got any you got any more anything else you want to say as far as just a support system and what you think makes a good one?
I just hope to whoever thinks I am a good support system, I stay that way. It's all about, sometimes it's
Uh,
about yourself. Like you said, it ain't about just getting support, and can you give it as well? So
right, definitely. Because a lot of people, it turns out like that. Like they could have been supporting you early on for years. Like, hey, I supported everything you did coming up, and when I needed you, where was you at? Like, so it's definitely a two-way street. So, I mean, I try to I try to make sure that I try to support everybody, man, if I can, at least in some type of way, whether it's a like, a share, word of mouth, telling somebody about it. So, like,
mhm.
especially all my entrepreneurs out here, I'll definitely try to pass that thing on. But even if it's something more serious, as far as like family and somebody going through a crisis or something, if I know about it and I hear about it, maybe I can't do nothing personally, but I can pass it on to the next family or the next friend. Like, hey, yo, then if you get a chance, man, go holler at such and such. They going through bang bang bang. You know what I'm saying? So let's try to get together and do something for them or whatever the case may be. But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always about getting the support. You need to make sure that you're that person that's also supporting others as well, and not only just your family and your friends. If you see somebody in a bind or in a spot and you're able to support, man, look out for them.
Mm-hmm.
So with that one, man, we can move on. We can move on. So we're gonna get to your topic after this one. So uh this is one of the big things. We've talked about it before on a different show. Can't remember which show that was or how long ago it was, but it definitely seems like it was something that we had talked about before. But it was basically why do black folks struggle with asking for help?
I think it's
Not
fear of
not just
rejection, but that's good.
yeah, like, and it's not just men because I know a lot of people think it's men don't like asking for help, which is true, but I think it's black folks in general because I see a lot of women that don't like asking for help too. So it's like, where is that coming from? Like like I don't like I get it because sometimes I don't ask for help, like especially just growing up. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh well, I've always asked for help. If I need it, I'm gonna ask. Like, no, that's not the case. I would tell somebody even to this day, I'm cool. Like, hey man, I can help you do this if you need it. And if I think I got it, I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I probably could just ask you for help and get it done either
Right.
faster or more efficient or whatever the case may be. But I just think it's a real problem why black folks don't really asking for help. And you made a point as far as you think it's a fear of rejection. So would you like to go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit more?
Well, like you said, it ain't necessarily just the men. They go for women too. Just nobody really likes to hear a no. So they're they try to analyze it themselves, and they probably come up with the wrong assumptions. But it's all about what you think you're about to hear. So a lot of people knock themselves out of help just for that fear of hearing no. But some people try to help you, and like I said, is it really help, or are they really trying to just throw a monkey wrench in what you already trying to do? It depends on what you ask for help for. So people are just iffy. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly a part of the issue is the fact of you don't know where people's heart lies. So you on the border, like, are you okay? You're asking me if you can help me. Like, are you really trying to help me? Are you really, you know what I'm saying, trying to do something else? Are you trying to sabotage the whole deal? Are you just being nosy? Like, so in that case, people turn it down. So, but then next thing you know is now you still struggling. You know what I mean? And then you get to a certain like this is kind of how it came up is that so let's say I just bought a house and I needed it's a fixer upper. I need some work done. Yeah, I got my brothers with me. I know some guys that are in certain fields that can help me reshape my house to where I wanted to go. A lot of black folks don't want to trust other black folks, so they're not going to ask them for help. But we'll go out here to Huber Heights, Miamisburg, Centerville, holler at these white corporations and these white businesses and be like, hey, I need some work done. And now you getting charged 2 to 3 times more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, and it's the fact of like, oh, well, I can't trust such and such. Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what has that person actually done to you to let you know that you can't trust them? You know what I mean? Like, oh, because we hear it all the time, and it gets said so freely that don't nobody really pay attention to it. But it's like, oh, you can't trust black folks like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It gets said all the time, like, and you just run past it because, like, I didn't probably said it myself a couple times. I mean, you can't trust black folks.
right.
But at the end of the day, man, it's been said and driven into our brain so much that now you start to apply it. You feel me? Like now it's like, oh well, like I don't know this guy, but it's a black owned business. Like, why should I trust him? Like, I just feel like he's trying to get over on me. Like, what reason do he has or she has to get over on you? Like, they trying to conduct business with you. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody does not conduct business correct. But
Say
at the
that.
same time, man, you got to give them a shot. Like, just because you have one or two bad experiences doesn't set the tone for everybody. And if you need to help
Mhm.
in general, if you need to help in general, why not ask that help in your own community? I don't know. Like I just don't get it. Like, and I find myself sometimes I find myself in it, but most of the time, man, I know somebody who does lawn care. So when these people come walking down, knocking on doors, it's like, hey, this is such and such company. We're coming to, do you want a professional to do your lawn care and stuff like that? Like, no, I'm okay. Like, I already know somebody. Like, I know a couple
Mhm.
people that's in that type of business to where if I wasn't gonna cut my grass myself, then I can always call them and they're gonna do a professional job as well. Like I
Mhm.
know people, I know an electrician. So like, hey, well, we can go out here. Nah, I'm gonna call this guy that I know that has his own business. You know what I mean? That never gave me any type of reason to say that he was untrustworthy. And at least get a quote. You feel me? Like just because I'm not saying telling everybody like, hey man, just do business with anybody and everybody. What I'm saying is at least get a quote and try to help somebody's dreams come true. Because these white corporations, they done already made their money. They done already made their millions. They done already set up. The CEO of that company is sitting at home. What's going on, Peanut, bro? Legendary. Uh, so they already sitting at home. The thing is that everybody is scared to ask for help or to help others in their own community. So now we don't have the CEOs in the black community are still doing the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? The guy that owns his electric company is not sitting there just sending people off to his job. He's going to work the job. You know what I'm saying? It's a different step on the ladder, and people are you cutting your community down by not helping them people climb their own corporate ladder because you either scared to ask for help or you afraid that somebody is going to try to scam you in some type of way instead of just asking and being upfront and legit about the whole situation.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And help and
It's
support got
just
a thin line.
yeah. I mean that is it kind of goes hand in hand,
A
because
little bit.
somebody asking to help you is them trying to show you the support like we was talking about, right? Or somebody they're trying to
Mhm.
support you in that way. Or if I need some help with something and I see you're in the business of doing it, now I'm asking you for your help. Now I'm supporting you in what you're doing. So
Right.
it goes hand in hand. Like, and that's what it's all about. And I think a lot of people forget that. I think we growing we're in the era now to where everything is what can I get? What can I get? Trying to take, and ain't nobody trying to give nothing back. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a guest on somebody else's show, then somewhere down the road, I'm gonna ask them to be a guest on my show. It's a back and forth exchange. You know what I'm saying? Hold on,
Yeah.
we got a comment real quick. I'm gonna pull it up. It says America is like playing Monopoly, and all the spaces are our own, and they make it seem like it's fair. National building is our only hope. Yes,
Mhm.
nation building. Yeah, and I mean I agree, and that like I said, it got to start somewhere.
Mhm.
What you say? Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. Like it's the year just getting started. So, it's a lot of people that I want to bring on here. It's a couple people that then talk to me about being on their show somewhere in the later on in the year. So it's only February. So, we definitely gonna have time and we gonna keep it rolling, man. Cause I know we all got goals and plans on how we want to end out the year and how we gonna hit the ground running with it. But it's just the fact, like we were saying on the topic, it's just the fact of like it's a real struggle for people that ask for help or to help others. Cause it's always some, oh, I don't know, they might be trying to stab me in the back. They got some ulterior motive to where they trying to jit me out my money, or I don't know where my, you know what I'm saying? It's always that
Mm-hmm.
type of vibe or element
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
room. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
like, and even if somebody actually ask them and they give you a legit answer, now do you believe them? Like, oh no, they can just tell me that just because. Like, if you're gonna have that type of energy, like it's like on the other end of the stick, it's like, man, what else can you do if that's the type of energy you coming into the situation with?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It might come from the support they already done had in the future. I mean, in the past, I
Yeah.
couldn't really say. It's definitely a thought, though.
So what I do is what I encourage people with, especially with the last two topics that we were just talking about, as far as making a good support system and the struggles of just asking for help or being a help. Like, just because maybe some bridges got burnt in the past, you've already crossed it, right? You did already walked across that bridge and evidently it got burnt down. Don't burn down, don't walk around with a gasoline can to burn down the bridges in front of you. You know what I mean? You never know what type of who you're going to meet, what type of networking you're going to do in the future. If you're going into a situation with that type of negative energy, thinking that it's a scam by dealing with somebody within your community and you'd rather outsource it, then you are part of the problem, not a part of the solution. Hold on, we got another
Yeah.
comment. Sometimes you want to protect what you've built too. I've built integrity in my field, and some people won't have the same respect for what they didn't build. True, definitely true. And I mean, I agree with that too. But when you see that coming, then that's when you chop it off at the legs. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't I wouldn't go into that with that type of energy. Like now, if you see it, like, don't get me wrong. Now, if you see that energy coming a mile away, like, oh, okay, nah, you trying to mess up what I got going. Hey, we're gonna have to. Either I'm gonna cut it off here, or we're gonna have to part ways because evidently we not on the same page. But that next person that cut like after that, that's what I'm saying. That after effect is that okay? Well, after this bridge is, hey, we cutting this. That next person that come up, maybe their energy is different, but I don't want to just automatically assume because what the last person has already done. It's a new it's a new person, a new adventure, new network. Think it's new. Like we got to stop bringing past situations or old baggage into the new trip, into the new journey. So I think I'm just encouraging everybody to just do better with that. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of new businesses out here, man. Sometimes, like me, everybody can't be like me, which is cool. But I always try to give people benefit of the doubt, at least the first time. You know what I mean? Like if I try somebody got a new restaurant open or whatever, they got a food truck. I'll say that. They got a food truck, it's new, they trying to get their business popping. Hey, I want to support you. So hey, I'm hungry anyway. Let me see what you got going on. And let's say the first time the service is not that good. But I know what it's like when you just starting off with something. Maybe you got low on supplies. Maybe you didn't had so much business coming in. You didn't got a little hectic and everything is just moving too fast for you. All right, I'm gonna give you some time. I might even give you a couple pointers, especially if I know you. Like, hey, food was good, the service was kind of, you might want to work on that, whatever the case may be. But then I'm gonna try to come back around to you later and just see like, is
That's
this
support.
a pattern?
Hey.
Yeah, right. Like, is this a pattern? Like, or do you just got bad business, or did I just catch you on a bad day? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's definitely tricky, man. But We're gonna move on to the next topic, and this um was actually your topic. This is what you wanted to bring in, so I'm gonna let you kick this one off, which is labels and relationship expectations in light of Valentine's Day being around the corner. So go ahead and kick us off with that, man. Labels and relationship expectations.
Well, it was funny because I was on Facebook, social media, all last week, and the Valentine's posts are hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's all the Valentine's pictures that y'all was taking Christmas pics with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where them people at? And it was just funny. Like, hold on, how you taking Christmas pics with this dude, but it's Valentine's Day and you talking about you need a boo or something. It was just a whole bunch of Valentine's things on there. It was funny. And then, the label thing came from, I can't remember the post. It's I ain't really had no sleep. Baby been kicking me all night. But I think labels kind of, I don't want to say destroy stuff, but they kind of put such a stigma, such an obligation on things that it raises the bar for no reason. You know, you can be friends for, oh my God, I don't know how long, and then as soon as y'all turn into boyfriend, girlfriend, or get married, or just anything along that nature, you start nitpicking and stuff. I think we kind of talked about that too a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we touched on that on one of the our earlier shows. We did talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you in light of Valentine's Day coming up, and ain't no problem reiterating on it. But yeah, like I do believe that labels, me personally, I believe that labels mess everything up. You can actually be in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend for 7, 8, 9 years. Everything good. Y'all live together. Maybe y'all did now. Maybe now it's your baby mama, baby daddy, whatever. And y'all living together. Y'all rocking. Y'all partners. Everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody wants to be now. I need to get married. I want to be your wife, and all of that. On one side, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Just I get it. It's like, look, I'm doing all of this stuff, but I don't have a ring on my finger. And I think some of these labels is like, especially when it comes to, I think when it comes to marriage, it's that if we're married, then the whole breakup thing is harder because now you got to file paperwork, you got to get people involved. It's not just no, it's over. I walk out. We broke up. When you're boyfriend and girlfriend, all right, listen, I'm done. I'm about to pack my stuff. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
when you're somebody's wife or husband, it's not that simple. And I think that gets attached to the label. It's like we've been rocking for this long. Why am I not good enough to be on this final level? Supposedly, this final level of commitment to where you're committed to me. So if you wanted to leave out, we got to go file papers for divorce. We got to do certain different. We got to do things different if I'm your wife or your husband, you know what I'm saying? Versus being your
Yeah.
boyfriend and girlfriend. But I don't know. I agree with you. I do think labels do kill stuff. Especially I think they kill stuff early on. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. With the
Well,
whole with the whole like going from girlfriend to wife thing, I think it all comes down to like proper timing to me. Like I'm seeing like we talked that's what we was kind of touching on before is that you can be in a relationship with somebody for 3 years and now you expect to be married. Like, maybe that person not ready yet. You know what I mean? And then you put people in positions because you want this label. We got another
Mhm.
comment. Yep. It says we spoke about this too to people. This too. People aren't respecting the process of relationship is structured. Talking, dating, exclusively dating, engaged, then marriage. Yes. Everybody wants to do things fast. I'm gonna leave that up there for a little bit so everybody can see. Uh Everybody wants to do things too fast. Like you meet somebody on a Saturday night at the club Hey, what's up? My name is such and such. Exchange numbers. Next week they want to go on the date. Week after that, oh, now me and such and such talking. The week after that, yeah, that's my boyfriend or girlfriend now. Like 3 months down the road, oh, okay, we serious. We about to move in together. You know, a year past that, a year and a half past that, it's oh, okay, we've been rocking this long. When you gonna marry me? Like, what? Hold on. Like, chill. We still don't even know each other. Like, anybody, like my thing is anybody can have a good year. You can have a good year to where you up, everything is good, money flowing, business is great, you glowing, everything positive. Then that next year you can hit a you can run into a wall and shit get kind of hard for you. It's like, and a lot of people don't understand that when you in a relationship and when you get to that marriage part, it's the fact of like you're not looking for somebody to do all this lovey-dovey shit. Like you need somebody that's gonna be your partner, somebody that's gonna have your back when everything is rocky. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doing this for either social media for pictures or they see too much reality TV on what it's supposed to be like. Oh, well, I need somebody to go on trips with. Like, man, you don't know what these people was doing before they went on the trip. They both probably was getting their grind on, working 12-hour, 12-hour shifts, kids, this, that, and the third. And then they're like, all right, cool. We've earned to take this vacation for ourselves. So now let's go take a vacation and enjoy ourselves. People want the glamour, but they don't want to do the grind. So and then
And why is
and
that?
it definitely you say what?
I saying why is that? Like
Yeah, I don't know, man. But it's I think this is part of just the world we living in now. Like you can break it down simple to where, back in the day you had to hit a couple different stores if you wanted to go shopping, whether it was clothes, groceries, whatever. Now you can just go to one store and get it all done. You can get your electronics, your groceries, a couple of your nails done, your hair done,
yeah, I
get you
would say
some
that.
new glasses. You can get all that done at the same place. So, and that's just the type of world that I feel like we living in is the fact of it's a one-stop shop. So when you fast forward and think about it in a relationship wise, it's like, oh, I like you, you like me. We're gonna do this forever for right now. We're gonna take trips, take pictures, because you got this facade of what you think a relationship is supposed to be like, instead of actually understanding the grandparents or the great grandparents that's been in a relationship, been married for 80 years. Like, how do you think they got into that? It wasn't all lovey-dovey dates and trips and all of that from day one to 80 years later. Like, nah, it's gonna be arguments, it's gonna be fights, it's gonna be tears, it's gonna be hugs, it's gonna be all types of stuff, long walks. Like, it's
See,
crazy.
that's more the line I was on. I can definitely respect and feel the labels
All
and
right,
the expectation part. But
mhm.
I was more on the, why do labels mess things up? You can be friends for years, rocking doing the same thing, what I'm saying? Everything's cool. But as soon as y'all put a label on something, now you nitpick about everything, saying you eat too much, you don't buy the right things, you don't put the toilet seat down, you don't do this, that, whatever. When at first didn't none of that bother you. You know what I mean? Like, why do labels set the bar?
I don't know. I
What
think it
what, what
goes into
changes?
I think it goes into the expectations. But before I get into that, shout out to my man Peanut Dash Resources, man, a legendary podcast. Make sure y'all go ahead and check him out. Thank you for your comments, brother. Till next time on that one. But I think it goes with the expectations on what these people expect. It's like, okay, we're here, boyfriend and girlfriend, everything's cool. I don't mind that because we just cool, like everything fine. Like I don't mind that. But now, once you're my woman or once you're my man, I expect this, this,
Yeah,
this, and this. Now it's different.
you know.
But
Yeah.
I don't
See,
why.
I'm blessed to have been married and, saying my baby now is by my best friend, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my best friends, we've been like this 20 years, you know what I'm saying? You come and go as you please, you know what I'm saying? You stay as long as you want. He might stay for months, then go home for a week. You know what I'm saying? You might just come and go as he please or whatever. But I think if we was to ever put a label on it or put a, oh my God, a ring on it, I think everything would just go out the window. You know what I'm saying? Of course it would, because of that expectation of, hey, y'all married now. You know what I'm saying? But I like that he come and stay for a couple months and then he go home for a week. You know what I'm saying? Like I might need that week. Like
Right.
it just,
Like, yeah, I think what needs to happen is a lot more communicating. Like, all right, cool. If we at the talking stage, we're good together now because of A, B, and C. Now, if we wanna make it a little bit more serious, what do you expect from me if we make it serious? And then like people need to have a lot more of those conversations instead of just jumping to it like, all right, well, you my wife now, or we serious now. So now I expect you to do this. You need to call me every, something crazy. But it's like, hold on, man. We was just cool 2 months ago, and I
yeah,
haven't switched up. Like, so now I gotta now this is the way you want me to move, and like I don't know,
yeah.
man. It's like as soon as you get to a certain level, it's a whole mask that go over their face.
Yeah, it's funny that you phrase it like that. This is the way you want me to move because I married my mechanic back in the day. He's been my mechanic for like 2 years, and we just happened to, mingle and I guess fall in love and all that good stuff. 2 years we've been cool, but as soon as we get married, my car on the back burner now. Now everything's a nitpick between me and you. Like things just changed, so you know,
Mhm.
it was definitely just a question.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I definitely get it, man. And that's one thing that we had kind of like we had mentioned before is that we have to get rid of going into situations with certain expectations because like I said, a brother of mine, shout out to if he's watching, my brother Buddy Boy, you know what I'm saying, because he told me this a while ago, just was like, man, you can't put your own expectations on somebody else, like
Mhm.
just because you changed when you see the roll getting the roll of toilet paper out, you swap it out exactly. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, "Oh, we need some toilet paper." Grab it and sit it on the side of the tub. You know what I mean? Like you can't automatically just put your expectations on somebody. And I think in relationships, especially in the beginning, we all kind of do that. We all go into the situation with what we expect, whether it is just talking. Maybe there's certain people in the talking stage that expect certain things. Like if we just talking, I expect you to, at least hit me up a couple of times a day. We don't have to talk all day, but maybe a good morning, how you doing on the midday, or how's your like maybe you expect some of those things. And if the other person is like, nah, we just talking, I'm gonna holler at you when I holler at you. Like
Yeah.
I might talk to you 2 times a week. Like we just talking. Like you got somebody like they might expect like if you talking, it's like, oh well, you were only talking to me. Me and you were talking. The other person
Mhm.
like, no, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to her. I'm talking to this person. You know what I'm saying? Like we all just talking. Like nothing serious. And I think that you got to have those type of conversations, man, and actually start letting people know what level that y'all on, whether y'all starting off or trying to move up or whatever. But like you said earlier, as far as with the helping, as far as when people are asking for help, it's also that fear of rejection. So I think people don't want to have those conversations because you don't want to get rejected. Like you don't want to be like, hey, uh, I think it's time for us to make our relationship more serious. And the other person like, nah, we cool where we at. Like
Right.
matter of matter of fact, if you're trying to get all serious, let's just cut it. Like
They
whoa,
scared of
now
the
you setting your
label,
heart right.
Yep.
Like nah, I
With
don't
that
do labels.
label
But
and
like
expectations.
yeah. But like I said, I just think like I think you can have these conversations before it get out the way. Like while you're doing that talking stage, like you know who you are, you know how what you expect. You can feel the vibe on like, oh, you know what, man, I really like this person. If we ended up here, I wouldn't be mad. Like, all right, but ask some of these questions, like, all right, cool. So ask some questions while y'all just talking, while everything is cool, while y'all just dating, while y'all just going out and getting dinners and having fun. Start asking some of these questions. A lot of people just living in the moment, which on one hand there's nothing wrong with that, but on the other hand, you're not asking all of these questions. So then now when you move up to exclusively dating and everything is really serious, now these little expectations and certain imperfections come out that you either didn't know about or you didn't pay attention to, and
Hmm.
now everything is changed and switched up. So,
You gotta have
I
these
think that if you
uncomfortable, awkward. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
but I think if you talked about it earlier, then that'd have been things that you would have already understood about this person, or they would have already understood about you, instead of fast forwarding down the road. Now y'all looking at each other mean mugging because it's like, you totally changed on me, or no, you changed on me. Like, so I don't know. But it's
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, man. Well, it's coming up. It's coming up. So, fellas, stay woke. I ain't gonna tell y'all no sim stuff. That's not what I'm gonna do. Stay woke, because I've been seeing. I was on TikTok and the old girl got caught with her sneaky link. It was hilarious. And he caught him red-handed. I'm like, man, don't you know I got cameras around here? Like, then outside, bang, then they had rose petals up and everything. I was rolling. She like, I'm sorry. He like, you sorry? What? Like, me, I gotta go. Where am I supposed to go? Like, go with this? Like, what? Like, what do you mean where you supposed to go? Like, you had a stable place. Like, I was holding it down for you and everything. Like, but you know what I'm saying? So it's hilarious, man. Stay woke, fellas. You know, make sure today is the 9th. Valentine's Day is on the 14th. So if you got a sneaky link, you might want to take them out a little early, just so they can feel special too. Or take them out late. Either way. Just take them out somewhere in February so they can feel special too. But like, hey, look, had to take my girl out, but I still got you. Hey, ladies, y'all
Come
too, because y'all got sneaky links too. No, but don't get it twisted. They be getting caught up too. They wild now. But nah, man. Moving on to the last little topic, man, and then we can get up out of here. It's really kind of short and simple, man. It's like be coachable, and I think that kind of goes with the last topic we had as far as having that communication. Like, a lot of people don't understand what be coachable means. They think that it actually applies to a sport or a field. No, it applies to everyday life. It applies to everyday life. Like, be coachable, man. Like I said in the beginning of the show, I'm not all my ideas are not always right. So if somebody can come in and be like, "Hey, E man, I see your setup. You know what I'm saying? I see how you got your camera, you trying to get your lights going. Like, I see what you got going on. I like what you're
on.
doing, but let me show you some stuff." If I'm sitting here, nah, man, you doing everything that I'm doing. Like, nah, I don't like it like that. Nah. Then I'm not learning nothing. So eventually that person might be like, all right, bro, just keep doing what you're doing. And then later on down the road, now I want to advance. And now I know some stuff. Now I'm trying to call them back like, hey, remember what you was trying to show me? Like, nah, man, you need to. A lot of people, being coachable can get taken a lot of different ways or said a lot of different ways. Some people say, be humble. But I think it's all the same. You need to be coachable, man. Like, and I say coachable because I grew up playing sports. So that's just the easiest way to understand it for me. But what's your take on just trying to be people being coachable?
Yeah, just don't be so quick to be defensive. Learn how to take constructive criticism. you can always tell when a person trying to be sarcastic and hurt your feelings. But if they genuinely trying to, like you said, I like what you're doing. They giving you your props, the positivity and everything, and they got that little bitty. But what I'm saying, you shouldn't take it as a big old. Oh, now you're trying to, know what I'm saying, tell me what to do and blah 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 blah. Some people just don't know how to take criticism. So that's definitely what you were
Definitely.
saying on be coachable.
Yes. And that's not, and I think that being coachable is also something that's learned. Like everybody doesn't just come out and just be like, oh, well, I know how to be coachable. I know how to, take constructive criticism. Uh, I I learned how to take construct. I still handle it kind of shakingly. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm cool with it. Internal, I might be losing my shit, but coming out, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But in my head, I'm like, man, shut up. Man. You know what I mean? It just depends. But I had to learn how to take that constructive criticism or to be coachable. Like I said, but I grew up in that type of atmosphere. I grew up in sports, and my mom was in the sports, my dad was in the sports, the people around me was in the sports. So if I mess up on the play, not only did I have one person like, hey, you mess up right here, you should try bang bang bang. I had another 2 3 people like, hey, we seen that, you need to work on that, you need to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting that constructive criticism in all different type of ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it an aggressive way. I'm getting it in a passive way. I'm getting in the straightforward way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like eventually I had to learn how to take it. Like, all right, look, because when I was younger, I didn't. I'm like, man, no, but I'm doing the best I can. And they're like, all right. And I'm getting mad and all of this. And they're like, that's cool. We understand that you're doing the best that you can, but I'm trying to give you the tools to help you do it better. To take
Mm-hmm.
your best might be right here. But if you take the tools that I'm giving you, now your best can be up here. Just because it's your best right now doesn't mean it's going to be your best forever. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand that. They're like, well, I'm doing the best that I can do. Yeah, you're doing the best that you can do right now with
Yeah.
what you know and the tools that you have. You're doing the best at
Yeah.
it right now. But if you let
And they're
somebody come
comfortable with
in
that, so
and
they put that wall up.
mhm. But if you let somebody come in and show you some stuff and you're coachable, willing to learn, willing to help you out, whatever you're trying to do, now your best that was down here, now you don't went up 2 3 levels. Now your best is up here. Now you can take the tools and stuff that you learned and coach somebody else to bring them up, you know? So, and it goes all into that whole help and support system. It all goes together. But first you have to be coachable. And it could be from, like I said, whether it's your business or just your personal life. If you got, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, I don't know, maybe if you're wasting your money, you see a friend or a family member out here just blowing money on stupid stuff and not actually taking care of their responsibilities, and you try to pull them to the side, like, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on, but you might want to do bang, bang, bang. Most of these, oh, well, you don't understand. A lot of people get caught up in you at my business, stay in your lane, stay in your business, and all of that. That's the whole trend now. And it's like, all right, I don't want to see you fail. You know what I mean? So, all right, cool. If I fall back, I don't want you coming at me 2 3 months later, like, hey man, you was right, man. I'm in a pickle right now. Like, nah, man, you didn't want to listen to me before. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to coach you up the first time. I was trying to coach you up the second time. I was trying to coach you up the third time. You didn't want to hear it. You was uncoachable. You said you had everything figured out. And the way I learned in sports is if I keep doing that type of stuff to my coaches and trying not to listen and all of that, either I'm gonna be sitting on the bench or they gonna let me go out there and I'm gonna end up failing and then I'm gonna get benched. Like
Mm-hmm.
you didn't do anything I told you to because you feel like you can do it better. So now go out there. All right, you still doing it? That's terrible. That's trash. Now you know why you got beat on this play because you didn't do what I told you to do. So now you're on the bench because I got to put the guys out there, the people out there that's gonna do, what we've coaching them to do. So, and I think it, like I said, is all of this stuff can be applied to life, like just being coachable in general, like because nobody has all the answers.
That's
So
true.
I don't know. Always sometimes it takes just take a moment, take a step back. But look at whoever's talking to you or trying to coach you, just make sure they're being genuine. Like if you're not totally for sure, just listen to them. It's no harm in listening to what somebody has to say. You don't have to apply it. You don't have to apply it to your life at all. But you taking that moment to at least listen to them, you never know. You might go into a situation thinking that somebody's trying to set you up for failure, but if you actually just listen and be like, what they were saying was not all bad. They might have came across
Yeah.
it starting off a certain way, but you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see what they was really talking about, and then it might work
Yeah.
for you. Like that's being coachable is just being humble, taking a step back, and just being able to listen. And then
Mm-hmm.
if it works for you, if it's something that you can apply to your life, cool. If it's not, then okay. But it's something that you've listened to. Now it's knowledge that you've retained at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. So people just make sure y'all being coachable, man. And all of these things that we talked about between all these different topics between support system and asking for help and being coachable and labels and relationship. Make sure y'all pass all this stuff and information down to your kids, man. Once you know about it, pass it on and pass it down. You know what I mean? Don't continue this whole cycle of failed relationships, terrible support system, and not being able to actually sit back and ask somebody for help or be a help to others. You know what I mean? And not being uncoachable because you don't want to listen. But yeah, we got that's the show. Do you got any tags? Let everybody know where they can find you at, reach you at. I know you got a lot of different things going on. What's new with you and how they can get with you?
Nothing new right now. Snake Cox on Facebook, Monet Nay on Instagram. Check me out, Hood Looking / our Hood 2. That's the project. And Quickies, Little Fit Group. Also, Wise and Shine in light of it is February, along with Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl coming up. It is Black History Month. But I do it 365 a year, so Wise and Shine. Check it out.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Before I go, man, I want to just give a shout out to a couple of my brothers. My man Mark, y'all might know him as Scoots Bronson. Check out his show, man. He got Isolated Societies. He's also a part of the Viewers Anonymous with my man S. Foster. Shout out to them too. And S. Foster, he also has a 28 minutes or less podcast as well. And shout out my man JD. He's out here with the Drippy Network on YouTube. All three of those guys that I mentioned are all on YouTube under those marks. That's under Viewers Anonymous, Isolated Society, and 28 minutes or less. Man, go ahead and make sure you check those guys out. Give them a like, follow, and share. Man, tell them that E. Carter sent you, and I'm pretty sure they'll gladly appreciate it. Oh yeah, and shout out to my brother Siege, man, with the SEE Sports Entertainment and Extra Shit podcast. You can also catch my talents over there every Tuesday morning, man, when we talking sports, entertainment, and a little bit of extra shit. Um, yeah. And then other than that, you can find me here, First Class Podcast Media fan page or First Class Podcast Media. Uh, we drop all the content. We still working on the network to where we gonna have all of these different shows and entertainment and stuff like that under one umbrella. So that's something that we are still working on. We should have that to you as soon as possible. Be on the lookout for the big show, First Class Podcast on Saturday. This is a collab show. We're gonna have yours truly, the bearded wonder. Bless Shatika, my man Siege. We all gonna be together. Like I said, this is Valentine's Day is coming up, so this is gonna be our Valentine's episode, if you will, titled "Show No Love, Love Will Get You Killed." So be on the so be on the lookout for that. We're gonna get into it. Other than that, man, I don't have anything else to say. Thank you for everybody that tuned in, that left comments. Like I said, make sure y'all go to our YouTube page. That's First Class Podcast. Make sure you like, share, and please hit that bell button so you can get any and all notifications when we post. So if we don't got nothing else, you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Go head out.
All right, y'all, man. Thank you. Till next time, we gone.